Welcome to the Grand Design Series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 2nd of April 1984, which is a few months on from the end of the last part. And in this part, what I want to do is start building up our town over here, because we are going to need the workforce to get into our oil refinery here. We also need to be able to get this oil field online, because I'm kind of been thinking about what I need to do up here. And I think getting the oil refinery online would be pretty important, because we need to start giving this area a sense of autonomy, whilst at the same time actually integrating it into the economy on the other side of the map. Now, the other thing I want to do in this part is plan out our new town here. Now, I've realized that I've made a little bit of a mistake here, and that is the fact that I've wedged this town between two fairly strong areas of pollution. But I think I can still make it work, because one thing you do need to get developed when you actually get a really big economy, because you can see we've now reached over 86,000, and we got over 2,000 over 21s. Now, what will happen is going forward now, this is always going to be a problem, simply because the economy is so big and you've got such a big population. The reason for that is the population is so big that you're either going to end up constantly building houses or end up with loads and loads of over 21s. Now, a possible solution, and as I say, it's a bit heartless if you look at it from this point of view, is you can create a town that will have health problems. That's what will happen with this town here because of the pollution. And what you can do is turn that to your advantage by kind of making sure that they have a good life, but the fact that people do not live so long because of their poor health. And then what that will do is it will act as a sink for these over 21s, not in the sense that all the over 21s are becoming here as such. What will happen? Yeah, well, I suppose they will be, but so that is something that we're going to need to do. Now, before we get that, just a little bit of an update of where we are, because what I've done quite a lot of work on during the last couple of months when I wasn't recording is trying to tidy up some of my logistics. Now, probably the biggest step forward now is that this oil field here is now operational. It should be anyway. I think we got to, and what I've done is to try and speed the process up. Also, is I've actually gone for wind turbines. This won't guarantee 100% regular supply of oil, but I think it's going to be safer than using substations, because wind turbines take a little bit longer to actually burn down. So that means that the vehicles can get out here. I've got one substation here, but you will see that at the moment all the oil is still flowing right across the map. In fact, it comes down through here. And if I come to here, you'll see that we are, for the first time ever, I think, starting to gain a little bit more leverage on here. But I think that's partly down to the fact that I'm still delivering the oil by train. So I think that is going to be a bit of a situation. Now, that is giving me a kind of a bit of a rethink over here, because we've got this terminal here. If I show you here, where we can actually pick up oil, so we can unload fuel here. And what I'm starting to think, oh, train waiting for too long. We'll look at that in a minute. And what I'm thinking is that I'm not sure. I don't know if these can overlap, but I'm thinking about, is putting in a pumping harbour. Now, I'm not 100% certain that I'm going to bring this online, but I want to put it in as a backup, simply because the way I'm thinking about it is bring a ship in here will take some of the pressure off of the what we call it, our import position. What have we got here? We've got a gas road vehicle, athletics club. Wow, I still got I've still got some private cars. Oh no, this is a police station. Okay, 56%. I do really need to think about replacing those. Now, I'm also still pushing through the kind of line upgrade here. It's kind of working, but it's not working as smoothly as possible. You can see I've built one line nearly all the way out to here, but I'm still getting a few problems with the interaction. This is why we're going to need to look at this. Yeah. We just put another couple of signals here. I've got a feeling that you are. Yeah, they've gone that way. And I think you should go into this area here. No, where are you trying to get to? Yeah, you're up there. Okay, you're trying to go there. If I can get a signal there, I should isolate that bit of track. So these guys can go up there and you can start pushing in this way. Now, this is another reason why I'm going to keep the game paused while I do this design process, because I do need to connect in this. Anyway, so what I want to do is start a factor where play slowly so I can get out. No, we'll leave the dark in for the moment because it makes it easier to see what we're building. Now, the first thing I want to do is we're going to find a shop here. Now, the population of this area is going to be about 2,500. And what I want to do is we're going to put in a shop or food store. I think we're going to use, is that what I want to do is put the food store directly connected to this warehouse. The reason for that is that I want to be able to not use trucks, so we can bring the food supply in here. Where's the road connection is there. I think what we're going to do is demolish you and just put in a mud road there. I don't think that's a mud road. Cancel. Just put a little mud road in there. All this is going to do is import meat. So we're going to get this here. And I pushed this up this far. Now what I would like to do on this corner is we are going to need a hospital. So if we come in here, that's the historic hospital. Oh wow, we could put that in. I think that will fit quite well. What's the coverage on this hospital? You've only got stations for one vehicle though. That's not good. You've got 3 vehicles. You've got 8. We don't really need because the town, we're going to try and keep the town relatively compact. I must admit, I thought that this pharmacy had more than one slot. Let me just check something. We've got a pharmacy over here somewhere. I can find it. Whereas up here, isn't it? I thought these had. That's the secret police. That's the store. It's the police station. Of course, it's got to be the. That's the pharmacy. You've actually got. Oh, it's 2 ambulances. That kind of messes things up a little bit. I think what we will do, where are we? We could put the secret police in here and create some kind of square effect. And although we could, as I just mentioned, health is quite important. So maybe we'll put a modern hospital in this bit here. So we got the best quality medical attention they can get. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Now, one thing I want to do with this town is I don't want to use too much in the way of prefabs. So I want to keep an eye on the bricks here. So yeah, I think we will use a modern hospital here because I say they are going to have health problems. Now, the next thing I want to do is that we've got this area here. Now, what I want to do now is we're going to have a cableway coming down into here. Again, because I don't want too many vehicles here. So we're going to put a big cable station in. Trying to think, let me just get a distance. We've got 300 meters from there. That's 378. And then we've got to go that way. I think if I get the cable station in as close, I flip it that way. So I put you, the road's the wrong way round. I think we're going to have to go with that. So I want a footpath coming out this side. So that mine could be a bit of a jump. In fact, I think if I come this way, like that. Question is, how can we... I don't think I can get the road through there. Can I? Yes, I can. Wow. Right, we're... Right, how much coverage do I get? Right, you get coverage that way. If we're going to go with asphalt footpaths with lights. Put you there. Well, that will reach that mine. So all we got to do now is connect up. Again, we're going to do something similar here. We've got footpath. Because I want all the workers to come from here. That's 1, 2, 3. And of course this one's going to be really close, so we can just hook that through. So if I hook that up there, why is that not connected? Let me just... Sometimes the game doesn't actually indicate that there is a footpath connection. Let me just do this then. Yep. So people will be able to walk that distance. It's just that the game was telling me lies. We're gonna just trim you back to about there, I think. Then we can put the footpath in afterwards. Right, so we need to create a corridor here to come down to about this area so that we can get all the workers in. Now the next problem is going to be heating, a heating plant. Now we've got this area here and we're going to need to take off a small aggregate store. if I flip you that way, I'm going to put you in really close like that. Now, this aggregate store is going to serve two purposes. One for the local heating here, and two for the heating here. Now, what I need to do is put in a heating plant. Now, this is going to be about 2,000 people, so we don't need... I think we can put in a small heating plant. The problem's going to be is that should be close enough like that. That will give you the workers. The problem we're going to have is if I can angle you slightly, what I need here is to get a connection off of here. What's the connection? You've got a connection there. Somehow I've got to get to there. We're going to go for modding. Conveyor. Oh wow, that's going to fit quite nicely there. That would give... it didn't connect because that footpath got in the way. Yeah, the game does this from time to time. That will connect to there. And then we can run you from there to there. Now, the next thing I'm going to look at is waste, because we are going to get quite a lot of waste from here and here. Now, I did get a suggestion from Vimes. I must admit, I've never used this before, but what I'm going to do is put a large waste transfer on here and here. And what this should do is take the waste directly from the coal mines. So we'll hook you in there, and hopefully you will go to there. Now, the heating plant we've got in here, it's only a small one. It's got 4 connections, but they are only for small heating pipes, because if you look at the... Actually, I'm aware that you can't read the print. You can see this has only got a hot water tank with a capacity of 450 cubic meters. Now, if I show the actual small heating pipe, this is 100. But if I get the big one here, you'll see that it doesn't actually connect. See, this heat exchanger is here. Now, the big heat exchanger only has a single connection, so there's no point putting one of these in. What you've got to do is put in a small one like this. And we're just going to put one in. I'm going to put one just tucked in here. Again, we'll just hook up that there. And of course, we are going to go underground. This one. And we are going to run to there and just drop you in there. I mean, we're probably going to need multiple heat exchangers, but we can get up to, we can pump out all 4 anyway. So we now got that there. Now the next thing I want to do is we're going to put the kind of main accommodation into here. So I want to work out where it is. Now we do need a population of about 2,000. So what we can do, and what I want to do is find accommodation that will have implications, residential. Now I don't really want to go all out with modern prefabs. The reason for that is I've got a shortage of prefab panels, and the mob crew which can operate in the north, which is the ones based around the major town over there, was it Scarad? So what I want to do is focus on high quality buildings with brick. So I think we're probably going to be back to ampere brick buildings here. Oops. If I put in ampere. Now we've got these buildings again. I used them in the waste bee, and what I want to do is get about 3 of the, I want to come up through here with at least 2. In fact, probably what we'll do is we'll try and actually, if I can get that would give us 1,200 people in a concentrated area. And these don't need that much in the way of prefabs. This is the mirror. So there's a little bit of prefabs used. We got this ampere brick house corner. This has actually got 285 people. I'm actually thinking, and this has got 94% happiness. This has got 94. I think maybe we will use these here. So yeah, I think we'll go with these. This has got 220. The downside is all these have got. So I think if we start with a 1 there. Actually, if I put 1 here, 1 there, like that. And these are 300. So if I put in, if I could get you right up, I don't think you, let me just demolish you. I think if we put you something like that, maybe move you back a little bit so we can get footpaths around. Move you back a little bit as well. Push you up. Actually, no, we'll space these out reasonably well. We'll put you. We'll leave enough space for a footpath between. Oops. It's a bit unfortunate that they're going to be close. That's going to be a problem there. So we can't. Nearly made a mistake there. That's okay. We could kind of put this in here because we've got to put a water supply in as well. So that gives us nearly 900 here. I think I will go for these big ones. This is 94% happiness as well. And then we'll put the mirror on that side like that. Again, we'll space them out fairly generously. Leave enough space there for a road. Put a road through the center like that. You can hook up to there. You can hook to there. Bit wonky, but you can put a road through there. And then we'll come out like that and run a road like that. And whoops. Put a road across like that. And you can come into there. Trim you back there on the back corner for the moment. So that will give us 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So that will give us our core population. So the next thing we're going to need to do is put in the second part of the cableway here. I really wish if there was a way that you could kind of link this down. I think, well, ideally I'd like this in the corner like that. And then of course what we're going to do is go for the heavy poles. Actually, well, what we're going to do is let the game run now, because to put the actual connectings in. Okay, I think what we will do is bring a road out like that, and then hook you through like that. So we've got a hospital, a shop. We're going to need secret police. I think we're going to use the, not a prison. Don't need a courthouse. We're going to use these, all the police and the secret police. We'll just put you down here. Yeah, you're predominantly brick, so that's good. So that's this there. And we will flip you round that way. Put the secret police down like that. And that will give us good heating cover, but the trouble is that heating cover is not going to be that efficient, so we'll probably have to put another heating thing out here as well. So we've now got hospital, food, that there. We're probably put in a, well, what we are going to need is a pollution monitor. Where can I put a pollution monitor in? I think we could probably tuck it in somewhere. Should we put it about here actually? Well, we are definitely going to need this because we may have to moderate some behavior. Okay, so we're just going to wait for the shadows to disappear. I am having a few problems with happiness. You can see the happiness is down to 75%. Most of it is down to crime, which comes from the fact that we've got loads and loads of over 21s, which is another reason why I want to kind of sync this kind of over 21 mass. Right, we should now be able to see what we're doing. I think I think I'm going to put this in relatively close so that it's got elevation. Just make sure the road is coming out the right side. Yep, good. Gain maximum elevation. I'm just going to do a bit of an experiment because I do wonder if you space these a bit too far apart, that might actually have an effect on the ability to transport. We need to be, we're aiming for about there, so we need to kind of, so I'm going to put these a little bit closer together than what I normally do, just as an experiment. That didn't work, it was throwing an error. Don't tell me you can't. Yeah, what's the, no, too low. I'm a bit worried about that one. Let me just put, I'll put you a little bit closer to that one. Put you there. What's the infrastructure then? That road interfering. What is going on here? There's nothing underground. Let me just remove you. In fact, what we might be able to do is, I think what we can do is we can use footpaths to drive this. So if I push you out a little bit over like that, bring you out like that. I think what's happening here is the it's horrible. Okay, get rid of you. Put you in there, and we will just bring a road off here. Keep it simple. Like that. Although, well, I've just built a asphalt road there. It's beyond me, but I think this time up here we're just build gravel, I think. I'm going to put you there just to cut down the... So that now connects this into here. We've got our accommodation, we've got the secret police, they got that there. We can take advantage of here. I think we'll put a... Where's the sport? We'll put the ubiquitous indoor pool about here. Actually, we can probably put it about there, actually. Like that. And what we will do is link you to there with an asphalt path, and then what we can do is build the asphalt connections down that way to connect all this up. Now the next thing we're going to need is a water supply. Now the question is, what type of water supply are we going to use? Gravel or chemicals? Where's the nearest source of gravel? It's right over here, isn't it? It's a bit far away. I think we're going to use chemicals because the town can't function without the rail connection delivering food. So if we come out this way, and of course what we're going to need is to put water into here. Actually, if we got water over here, let me just see. Yeah, you've got water supply. Now, could we bring the water supply from here across to here? Or is that going to be a bit too much? Now, I think we're better to have a self-contained water supply here. Water treatment plant, 120 cubic meters. Will that be enough? Or will 300 be a little bit over the top? I suppose if we do put the big one in, we could supply water. My instinct is to go over the top, but maybe not, because this is the vicious circle of workforce. Although this has only got 10. Yeah, I think we will put a big water plant in. We'll put it out this area here. We'll extend the road out this way, like that. And then that means that I will be able to put the water supply. Actually, no, I can't get a battery connection there, so we're going to have to deliver the chemicals whether we like it or not. Alright, we're going to put a big water supply in here. And this will have multiple pipe connections, so we can basically, yeah, I mean, this ground well here will supply all the water to this, or we could use the in-game big one. The trouble with this is we would have to provide a workforce, and I don't really want to provide a workforce. I think we're start with you. We'll put you out here. And of course, we're going to need to think about power. And of course, we're going to need a big pumping station. Like that. There. Go underground. Put a great big pipe into there. Big pipe into there. So I've got the water. I'm not going to put the substations in. Well, I could put one substation in the center here. That would be an ideal position. In fact, that would cover most of the town. But if we put it there on this, yeah, but I want the flow. Now we could be sneaky and just put the water substation in the center there. Yeah, I think if we put it, because actually we put it about there. Question is whether we can get a footpath out. Now we can get the connection off of there, so and water tower or pumped. If we put a water tower in, it won't pressurize that much, so I think we'll just go for, keep it simple, we'll go for a pumped supply. So actually, if we put you there like that, then put a water switch about there like that, actually angle it slightly that way. What that will do is allow us to kind of distribute the water like that way. That's the start. We'll have to expand it a bit further. Now, of course, the next thing is waste treatment. The problem, I think, what we'll do then is see what the terrain's like. The trouble is we probably don't have an excavator. So, trying to get a... Right, that went... See, the problem here is that I would need to bring in an excavator because the water shallows off too quickly. I'm going to have to bring in an excavator. So I'm going to leave that until I can bring an excavator in. We're going to need a, what we call it, office. A free office like this. Didn't really want to do that, but reconstruction office. I don't know how many more of these I've got left. We've got 4 around the map already. We're going to bring you in there. Of course, that means we're going to need to bring in a free gas station. Although there is a gas station somewhere. Where's the gas? Oh, there's a gas station here. So, do the usual. It's going to take them a week of Sundays to get here. That's 17. That's 26. I'll get 1, 2 of those, 2 excavators, and we've got a nice big bulldozer here. K700. Maybe it's time. Is that? Oh, it's a workshop one. That's a 34. Maybe it's time I went to that way there. Let me just check. Bulldozer. I think we'll replace these with these K700s. Not that we need that many, but Right, so we're just going to have to let the game run until it gets there so we can put the water supply in. Right, so we've got reasonable health. I want to leave spaces for the potential for cars as well. So we've got this area here. I think this is going to be enough for the moment, and we'll try and build this in because I'm aware time's pushing on and we got a lot of building to get done here. Let me just get these. It says no connection. Okay, we're gonna try and get the swarm in here to get some of this stuff built. Get some of that built underway. Right, I think for the rest of the video we're going to kind of go around and see what's going wrong. I mean, happiness is building back up again. We've had fires. Let's have a look here. Got 161. Delete all messages. Just to give you an idea of what's going on. Up here, well, I need to check my rail stations. You can see here that the amount of waste that we're producing now is getting quite dramatic. Right, we've still got 4 jobs here. We're gonna need that ash disposal. I don't know if I can get any more. So we could get a couple more of these in. These don't have a power supply. I think what we'll do is I'm gonna see if I can get a couple more. Whoops, big ones, please. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see the judder with that that vehicle moving. The reason for that judder is the fact that we are very close to the limits, which is another reason why I'm not really that enthusiastic about getting too much done here. I think what we will do, I keep putting asphalt roads in. I don't need them because these are just delivery dumps. Oops, cancel that. I've accidentally deleted the road. Okay, these have already been detected, so the swarm will come in, and let's make sure that's all fully connected. We do need a power supply though. Yeah, I think I will. I think I've got a substation here somewhere, which is probably a good segue onto something else. Yeah, we got a power connection there. So if I put a substation, probably put you up here. So I'm just going to put that there and go underground. It's not like these are going to draw vast quantities of power. So no, I don't want you kinking out like that. I mean, to be honest, I've got no idea whether providing power to these claws bases will speed up the actual decomposition process, or whether it's just a constant, whether it's got power or not. If you know, feel free to check it in the video description. You can see that we're getting quite a lot of waste come in here. What we can do is speed up the disposal now by bringing in people into here. What I'm doing is using this power station as a way of speeding up the decomposition here if it starts to build up too much, because this will, the downside of this is it will burn any plastic waste that we've got. So we get a loss with respect to the plastic waste. Not that we're getting that much here, because I think if we come over to, where's my plastic waste processing? Yeah, you can see we produced 7 tons of plastic. I've got to find some way to use that up eventually. I did half think about an electronics industry here, because if we look at the electronics industry, let me just see, we need plastic, chemicals and steel. We can bring the steel in. So you could argue that we could put an electro components battery here, but to do that we would need to kind of workforce. Now that probably leads into something else that I've been thinking about, because if I come all the way down to here, we've got if I can find it amongst all my economy here, is we've got a large scrapping facility here. You can see this is going to be a long way away from what's going, but so I'm kind of half thinking of putting in a large scrapping facility here, because it would fit well with what we've got here, because of course scrapping facilities produce, if we can find it, I can never find it. Oh no, I think it's under, yeah, scrapping facilities produce steel, aluminium. Go for the large one. As you can see, it produces steel, aluminium, mechanical components, electro components, but more importantly, metallic waste and aluminium waste. Also, it can produce a lot of mixed waste. Now, but the amount of mixed waste and metallic waste that gets released depends on, if I come down here, on this setting here. Now you can see it says to collect resources from vehicles. Now, if you actually have this switched on, most of the resources, if we scrap a vehicle, let's just find a vehicle that I can scrap, which I don't really need. Okay, we're just going to do something a bit mean, but I just want to use this as a example. I'm just going to scrap this guy just to show you. I think he's a bit dated anyway. Actually, we got these guys are wearing out as well. I think maybe it's time to. I don't think we're ever gonna. This is the downside of having stuff in storage. I think it's time to. Anyway, so if I come in here, you'll see this vehicle is now being scrapped, and you can see here what happens is as this vehicle gets scrapped, it produces steel, mechanical components and electro components, but more importantly you only get a little bit of metal scrap and a little bit of mixed waste. Now if I switch this off, what will happen is that virtually everything will come out either of metallic waste or mixed waste, which then puts a lot of pressure on your processing. What is the state of the vehicles in this area? I think I am going to get rid of these concrete mixers. I mean, because I think they're just not going to be much use. That means that what I need to do now, if we come to concrete mixers, we're using the KMZ. Where is it? This one and this one. That standardizes all my concrete mixers. So yes, there is a problem here. I've got let me just check here as well, because I really need to work on getting. I'm putting snow plows into here. So just get this out here. But the problem I've got is the transportation from here. It's not working very well. I think eventually this is going to have to be wound up because it's not really working. Actually, let's just check the clothes. How much? Yeah, we got plenty of clothes at the moment. Actually, something else I want to check. Apologies that I'm jumping around, but I want to check the state of my silos because we didn't get the best of harvests in the last part. Yeah, see, this one's already empty. And we're only, well, I mean, we're on the 8th of May, so we got enough to get going. This one's only got 2,000 left, but which is not too bad. This one is nearly empty. This one's nearly empty. See what we got here. So we've still got 3,000 in there. This one's empty. We got nearly 5,000 still in here. And of course we got our super bio waste producer here. You can see that this, I'm really surprised. I thought a lot of it would come from here. But you can see this one actually produces fertilizer and biological waste. So if you want to actually kind of produce what you want, but you can't actually pick the fertilizer up from here. But what that so if you really want to produce the fertilizer for your farms, building a complex like this is quite advantageous. Anyway, back to what I was talking about is I'm kind of thinking that if I can put a scrapping facility in here, we may have to grow the town a little bit again, but if I put a large scrapping facility in here, what I can do then is maybe turn that to an advantage. The problem we're going to have is the rail connection. I'm just going to let the game run actually, because what I'm thinking is if I put a scrapping facility in here, so we'll just give it a go. Where is it? So it'd have to be a large one, and ideally we're gonna have to give it a rail connection. We're also going to need to give it a helicopter connection. We won't get construction waste from it, but we will get metallic waste and aluminium waste. And what's the internal storage for this? Where is it? It's got 54 tons of metallic scrap. We can handle that. We've got, I mean, there's plenty of storage there which we could ship out and maneuver. The trouble is, if we scrap a train or something, that might actually cause a problem. Actually, if I say I put it, where's the I think if I'm gonna do this, I don't want this in range of the cable car, because we would need to put people, I would need to control the access. So say for example the power's no problem. So say for example we put it down here, it could lead into actually our electronics industry, couldn't it? So if I say I do something like that, and we'll put a crossover there, allow the trains in. What is this? That's the metallic waste. That's 552 tons. Now we are going to get we are going to get metallic waste and mixed waste from here. We can't get the mixed waste up to there. We can also might get, actually come to think of it, do we also get the if we scrap helicopters, we'll get aluminium scrapped from here, which is also means that we may get aluminium scrap as well. Actually, maybe this, yeah, maybe we could just, if we put a connector there, that means we can scrap the helicopters from there. I think this could work out. Let me just see. Oh, the input's there. Oh, can I get that input from there to there? Now, if I could do that. This will be very, very messy. Right, we got a connection there. If I put connection there, that's broken. That won't connect, okay. That's because the road is there. Okay, let me just change this a little bit. I put in put you in there. If I could get we could get a mud footpath to there or there. Now if I could get out of here, oh yeah, it just took a little bit of creative thinking. That solves the problem of the metallic waste. The top question now is whether I can hook you up to there, to there, to there. That means the metallic waste can go to there. And then how many factory connections have I got here? Oh, great. One. What's the internal storage? Okay, let me just remove that conveyor there. If I put in a really smallish warehouse, because what it's going to do is take electro components. Say I squeezed in a really tiny, say like that, stretch you out a little bit. Put a road there. Whoops. Put the road to there. And if we go back to conveyors again. Oops, that's got to go that way. Okay, we can get that connection there. That means the electro components that will be produced by the actual scrapyard. So this will take the electro components and mechanical components, and then out the bottom here we can put a open store, small open store out the bottom here. This can take the actual, what we call it, the aluminium and the steel. This could also provide a backup store should this area fill up as well. I think that's the best we can do. We're going to need to grow the population because I don't think I've got any real unemployment here at the moment. But we are getting, so we may have to put some more built kind of accommodation in here. Try and fit it in. It looks like I've made a decision which I had no intention of actually working on. We're gonna... That can bring the trains in. We can scrap helicopters. And the swarm is already arriving. These guys are very, very enthusiastic, aren't they? I mean, at the end of the day, this doesn't have to work at maximum efficiency. I just want it as an option. So that we can... Because obviously there's going to be a lot of activity up this area. And I'm aware that I'm probably overrunning on this video. So this... so let me just see what's going on up here. Not a lot. Well, we've built the roads through here, which is good. This is still being worked on. I think we're trying to push these guys a little bit. And I think in the next part, we will start to look at maybe getting rid of these houses. Let me just reconnect them. We'll probably get a demolition team in here to remove these houses. Although if I leave space, I could always demolish them later on. Now this is going to be a modern town here, so that will work here. I just want to check the rail stuff in Stilton. Make sure these guys are still on the job. Because these tend to go through the job. Okay, you're down to 1. Okay, let me just let the game run for the moment. We need to start getting these connections in. So what you guys can do is you're connected there. Actually, is this all done over here? I want this done. And looks like this is being done. So I think the next thing we need to do is electrify this and all through here. Got a traffic jam. A little bit paranoid about traffic jams. This case, it's just repair crew. A little bit of junky road there. Come out. Another bit of junky road here that can come out. It served its purpose because we've now upgraded. Oops, cancel. I think we're getting to a point now where I can't upgrade many more roads in here. Actually, oh, this silo's pretty good, so that's good. And I think what's the loyalty? I've got a loyalty at 74%. Average, which means there must be some loyalties around that are higher than that. Let's have a quick look. 60%, 77%, 59%. Why are you not happy? Why are you unhappy? Oh, looks like we've got electronic shortage. Oh, there's always something in this game. Let me just see. Where are you getting electronics from? It looks a bit like what I've got here is these guys can't handle the load anymore. What have we got here? I think what I'm probably going to need to do, we've got these guys. They do the local distribution. Delivering electronics to the local store. Is that a problem? Did I misclick? Okay, it looks a bit like I've misclicked here. And this of course, is a direct supply. Let me just check. This is an example of the kind of detail work that I've been having to do off camera. I've lost the store. Where are you? So it's almost like these are delivering the electronics directly to the stores. That's not good. Where are you? You should, I think we need bigger capacity. Okay. Well, I've got no idea why we've got that clicked, because there's nothing to export. Okay, so we want you to bring in there. Okay, you're going to do that. You're not going to waste time there. We're going to increase that to 50%. I'm not exactly sure why you are delivering directly to the store. I think I've got a duplicate here. 80%. You deliver everything to there to 80%. You stop delivering to the store. Okay, you deliver to the prison. Everything 60%. It is 60%, wasn't it? I think this has got a little bit messed up. Bringing in the food on pickup, alcohol, and you're delivering 50% to the prison. Stop delivering to the prison. I want you everything into there, so it all flows into here. I think that will make more sense, and then these guys can actually do the tavern and the prison and everything like that. Okay. And you can pick up the electronics from there. Hopefully what that will do is result in these guys bringing in bigger loads, and they will keep it going. Oh, look at that. We've got the old chemical guy coming in here, pushing up the fertility. Anyway, I think I've gone over time on this video, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.